A poorly configured API makes customers wait, get nervous, and end up switching to another service. In this video, we'll share our proven tips to speed up your Node.js API. Watch till the end to see how we measure performance. We are Jelvix. You're on our channel. Weekly videos on tech in 5 minutes. The first method is related to the concept of timeouts. This is more of a warm-up before a fight than a full-fledged method, but timeouts are essential in shaping the user's opinion of your company. The idea of timeouts itself is literally telling the application that if the API hasn't processed the request in 10 seconds, tell the client I'm sorry. Agree that this is much better than endlessly staring at the loading screen. The timeout function exists in most JavaScript libraries, such as Axios or Got. The code only takes a few lines. You can pause the video and take a look. Now, let's speak about asynchronous functions. Async functions are crucial in JavaScript for optimizing CPU usage. They allow for non-blocking I/O operations, like reading or writing data from databases, cloud storage, or local disks. Using async functions in heavy I/O apps improves performance, as the CPU can handle multiple requests simultaneously. Now, a simple analogy. Customers may stand in line for several minutes when they see only one cash desk works in a supermarket, but it doesn't take long to shop if dozens of cashiers serve them. The same principle works here. Here's our example. Your API should be getting better by now. Let's pick up the pace and deal with static resources. The first and most important rule for a fast API is to not handle static resources. Node.js is much better at managing dynamic user requests, so all files like CSS, JavaScript, or images need to be gotten rid of. But how? There are two ways to do this. The first is to move the maintenance of such files to a third-party web server. The second is to use a CDN proxy server, such as Amazon CloudFront, to cache your static content. Of course, such services may charge some fees, but you will be surprised at how fast your statistics will be delivered to users. Try it yourself. Now let's talk about databases. They need to be cleaned up too. Large applications with databases are a treasure trove of bottlenecks and wasteful use of time. But there is a tool that can help you fight it. This is indexing queries. Indexing is a method to improve the efficiency of a database by reducing the number of disk accesses during query processing. It's a data structure technique to locate and access data quickly. Now let's take a database with 1 million records as an example. The system can scan up to 1,000 information cells to process a query without indexing. And after adding indexing, there's only one result. Everything is simple and fast. Finally, the last piece of advice. Switch to HTTP2. In fact, everything brilliant is easy. The HTTP2 protocol is just newer and solves the difficulties of its predecessor, including knowing how to handle features such as multiplexing, header compression, server push, and binary format. Now, as promised, let's talk about how to measure the productivity of your API. The most critical metric in this area is the application response rate. In fact, most of today's tips were aimed precisely at improving this KPI. You should also pay attention to how many requests the API can handle per second. And the rule "the more the better" does not work here. To avoid DDoS attacks, you should keep this figure low. And finally, the number of simultaneous users. Don't you want your application to be used by millions? Then monitor this index. Otherwise, the infrastructure will simply not survive. By the way, there are good services that will inform you about your performance status. For example, SolarWinds, Pingdom, or AppSignal. Try it, it's much more convenient. Actually, we have a great video on Node.js frameworks. Watch it for some insights of our developers. Support us by liking this video or leaving a comment. This video was prepared by the Jelvix team. We help top brands worldwide to innovate and accelerate digital transformation. We share the latest news about tech trends and innovations. So make sure to subscribe not to miss a single video. Bye for now.